everyone, Shaun the Simpit here, and today I want to do something a little bit different. When it comes to reviews, when it comes to tech pieces, I always feel the need to be, concise and very on point and get things very clearly expressed to you so that you can understand it and take it all in. But sometimes that lacks certain personality and just being able to really talk about certain things in a little bit more of a casual way. And so from time to time, I'm going to film some pieces here from my desk where maybe it's just a thought or an opinion I have, or maybe it's just a new piece of news that I want to talk about and bring to you. So it all started this morning when I was talking to Tim Wheatley of Rfactor, and this is May, this is the month of Indy, and later in the month they have a new version of the track coming, and that's a very big deal for Rfactor 2 fans. But coming next week is the new Formula Renault 3.5 running 2014 specifications. This will replace the old spec car, which will still be available for download. And what makes it even cooler is that it will come in several real-life paint schemes true to that series, including the Red Bull car of Carlos Sainz. I believe that the Formula Renault is the car that is run in the World Series by Renault, which means the car should be producing somewhere in the ballpark of 500 horsepower and have near F1 kind of downforce. So I have to admit, I tried out Rfactor 2 a little bit after its release. It was still very young. There wasn't a lot of content. There's a lot of development work going on behind the scenes. And now, looking at this content, which looks very awesome, I know it's time for me to get back in there for another look at the sim. And that kind of leads me to a whole other point when it comes to this new era of sims that we live in. I mean, if you look at the new business model for most sims, it's to produce a product, build a fan base, and then continue the development of the sim. And this goes on through updates, patches, even DLC if you're looking at the console games. And it kind of made me think, sometimes we get into some of these sims, and maybe if we were one of the first ones in, maybe it didn't have everything to offer yet, and maybe our expectations were even higher than what they were providing. And it made me think, what does a sim have to do to get rid of that kind of negative reputation? Reputation's a strong word. That negative opinion of the people who tried it too soon or had these huge expectations of a finished product like we used to purchase in this industry, but those times have changed. So let me go back a little bit. Let's think of iRacing. When it first came out, it was very light on content. The sim wasn't a fraction of what it's become today. The graphics weren't a fraction of what it's become today. Even the multiplayer environment has seen huge improvements. So you've got this sim that if you tried it out very early, maybe it didn't have everything you were looking for. And what does it take for that sim to get you back years later in this new business model where the life of a sim is way beyond just 1 year in the PC like the console guys are dealing with? So it's something that I think about, and I look at Rfactor and what they've dealt with since their release. That's a sim that has always been dependent on community support, modders, leagues, people flocking to it, creating a community and a foundation for the sim, while the developers, even going back to Rfactor 1, were always developing the sim, bringing out patches, making improvements, but the community helped do that as well. I look at Assetto Corsa. They came out, they had a little bug with the multiplayer. How many people maybe were turned off by the sim, and what is it going to take to get them back into Assetto Corsa again? And for me, I think, well, I'm a huge fan of this industry, of sim racing. What is our obligation to these companies to back them, to make sure they continue to develop, to make sure that we do check in from them time to time to see if it's become our favorite sim? Anyway, just a little food for thought for you. I thought I would share my thoughts with you and get your opinion. I hope you like this. I hope you comment on the video. And if you do, I'll certainly be doing more pieces just like this. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.